globalized age of information, we struggle between trying to satisfy the needs of the individual and individual self-interest and our sense of belonging and our desire to belong to a group. We struggle between the individual and community. And Sefer Bereshit, which is essentially about the embryonic stages of humanity, when humans were first starting to create society, Sefer Bereshit gives us a really interesting theological insight into how we're supposed to build society. Are we supposed to build society based on the needs of the individual or the community? The two major events in Parashat Noach and this week's Parsha give us these insights. One is the story of the Mabul, the Dor HaMabul, which we're told is a corruptive, perverted and violent society. It was a society in which individuals were vying to satisfy their own self-interests. It reminds me of what Thomas Hobbes, the 17th century father of modern politics, tells us about primitive man. Before there were institutions and rules and structures and governments, man acted according to his own individual needs and desires and pursued territory and food based on those desires. It was an individualistic society, and in Sefer Bereshit, when Hashem rejects that, when Hashem rejects Dor HaMabul, he's telling us that society should not exclusively focus on the needs of the individual. Then the second narrative that we have in Parashat Noach is the story of Migdal Bavel. And ostensibly the story of Migdal Bavel is an idyllic story of a society that's harmonious, where people are working together to build a tower toward the heavens. And we actually know from the historical record that in ancient Near Eastern Babylonia, they actually built skyscrapers toward the heavens called ziggurats. We have evidence for at least 30 of them. So this is actually describing something that actually happened, that people work together to build these huge things, to work on these projects together. But when we look more deeply into the historical record, we see that something that's described in the Tanakh, it says, "Vatihi kol haaretz safa achat udvarim achadim," that they were all united in language, was actually not such a great thing. The Neo-Assyrians, when they conquered the Babylonians, they tried to crush their individuality. They tried to crush diversity by homogenizing the people under one language. So this one language idea is not necessarily a good thing. And by rejecting the people of Migdal Bavel, Hashem is saying that society should not be exclusively based upon this notion of community. I can tell you that here in Israel, I feel that we're playing this balance between the individual and community. It's playing itself out very, very nicely, this delicate balance. We have decided as a people, as a collective, that the Jewish experience and the saga of Jewish history will play itself out here in Israel. And we will build a collective based on collective art and food and culture and Torah and the Jewish soul and all of that. At the same time, people are coming from all over the world. They're coming, kibbutz galiyot, they're coming with all of their diverse backgrounds and cultures to create this society. So we've really maintained this beautiful, delicate balance between the individual and the community that Sefer Bereshit really espouses and tells us to do.